for themselves. 26 after 12 o'clock. It is 14 degrees downtown, heading for that high of 15 today. Tuesday, July the 4th, here in New Zealand. I think it's Monday, July the 3rd, around about, what is it, about 5 o'clock over there in British Columbia. Alberta, Canada, in fact. And we're going to be joined very, very shortly by the man himself, Brad Sims. But in the meantime, here he is. She'd look good on me. I kind of agree. Okay. All right, Brad, we're going to go live to air.
Cool.
On the other side of that bar, I sat down and ordered me another round. I don't know if I could ever make her see that girl. She looked good on me. She came walking over and smiled at me that way. My legs turned rubber like every other day. She looked so good, like she walked right out of my dreams. I tell you, man, she looked good on me. She looked good in the morning, wearing my old ripped up t-shirt. She looked good saving shotgun, riding around in my old truck. Even though she might not know it, and this is meant to be, I tell you, man, she looked good on me. I don't know how I could catch her out. I toss and turn, it keeps me up at night. Maybe tomorrow I'll tell her how I feel. That girl, you look good on me. You look good in the morning, wearing my old ripped up t-shirt. You look good saving shotgun, riding around in my old truck. Even though you might not know it, and this is meant to be, I'll tell you, girl, you look good on me. Even though you might not know it, this is meant to be. I tell you, you look good on me. I tell you, girl, you look good on me. You look good on me. Galaxy. 107 FM.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and I got to thank everybody for hanging in there for Brad Sims. And, well, it's been an eventful beginning, but thank you so much, Brad, for joining us out of British Columbia today. It must be about 5 o'clock over there.
We're about 6 o'clock right now.
Well, I got to thank you for taking time out today, for talking to us, especially at dinner time. It must be quite entertaining to be able to talk to somebody on the other side of the world. and we are huge fans of yours down here. I got to admit that. Now, you come from quite a musical background. Now, at the age of 4, you picked up the guitar. Now, tell me all about that.
Yeah, so I've been kind of surrounded around music my whole life. My grandparents recorded an album way back in the day there, and my dad and my uncles and stuff always were playing guitar and singing. So I got to be surrounded by some good musically people, always singing and stuff like that. So it was just something I knew I wanted to do when I first heard it.
Sure. So basically, it's always been in the blood there for you. Now, I'm very interested in this. Tell me about the Nowhere Band, Nowhere Road Band.
Sorry, what's that?
Tell me about the Nowhere Road Band. Now, this is interesting to me.
I'm not picking you up there.
You're not picking me up that well. You're actually outside. Yeah, I was just saying, tell me about the Nowhere Road Band.
Oh, the Nowhere Road Band. Yeah, that started way back in the 90s, I can say. I met these guys in a small town, and you know, we just kind of got together, and that's kind of where I kind of started off. We actually had a few gigs, and I started meeting some other people in the industry, and we kind of went our own ways from there, and I ran into him a few times, and got him up with me a couple times, so.
Very cool. And of course, that started your illustrious career pretty much in the music industry. Now, your influences are people like Marty Stewart, George Strait, and Mark Chestnut. Now, I love Mark Chestnut. Dwight Yoakam. Now, he's a superstar in his own right. And people like George Jones. Now, tell me about these people. How did they influence your music today?
My parents always, we went on road trips all the time, and they always blasted the music when we were on the highway, and it was always Marty Stewart, Dwight Yoakam, and Mark Chestnut, and all those guys. And my sister liked other kind of music at the time, like, what was it? Come on, Barbie, let's go party, and stuff like that. I don't know if you remember that stuff. But I wasn't digging that music when I was younger. I was more into the country as I am now, and I just remember always having a blast while the music was cranked, and they had it cranked all the time. Every road trip, the music was just loud, or no one could talk to each other.
I can understand that. I really can. But I'll tell you something. Unfortunately, Barbara here is a big fan of Aqua, and she likes Come On Barbie. We play it for her from time to time, so she'll score you on points now, I think.
I like it too.
Look at that, he's got a reverse gear. Now, I want to talk to you about Our Night to Fly. Now, how did you come to the lyrics of that, and where did you get it recorded and produced?
I got a whole bunch of songs pitched to me. I got 2 songs pitched to me from, actually a handful of songs pitched to me from Gord Bamford, and a handful from George Canyon, and a bunch of other people. And so I listened to all these songs, 100 times or so, and I just thought it was songs that a lot of people could relate to. So I was very honored to get these songs from these people.
Okay, so what we're going to do now, my friend, is we're going to play Our Night to Fly. Here is Brad Sims right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Give it private. Where did my little button thing go? There you go.
Is this live then?
No, right. We're up here at the moment and talking privately.
Okay. You threw me off with the Nowhere Road.
I'm sorry. Unfortunately, that was our research team that's written all of this down, and they threw that in there, and I thought, that's a hell of a name for a band.
Yeah.
Now, you won the Duke's Entertainer of the Year 2010 and Alberta, British Columbia's talent contest in 2013. Also, you came third place in the next Nashville North Star at the Calgary Stampede. Now, I want to talk to you about the Calgary Stampede because we know about that down here, down under. We hear about it every year. What was it like playing there and stuff like that? So I'm going to ask you questions like that.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. We're going back to the desk now. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and I'm joined by future country rock legend, of course, Brad Sims, and he's coming out of Alberta, British Columbia. Now, it's a pleasure to be able to speak to him today and talk to him about upcoming events and everything like this. But first of all, let's get out of the way. The Duke's Entertainer of the Year Award 2010, also Alberta, British Columbia Talent Contest 2013, and third place at the next Nashville North Star at the Calgary Stampede. Now, Brad, I want to talk to you about the Calgary Stampede. That is a big event. How did you get involved in that?
Well, when I first started out, I was just doing the campfire thing, singing around just a few people, and I was always wondering how I could get myself singing in front of more people. So I found out all these contests and entered these contests, and I started winning, and it was really, really great feeling to win. And then we had the Calgary, the Nashville North contest, which is huge. There's probably 10,000 people that come to this stampede in Calgary. So playing in the Nashville North contest was an unreal experience. It's just something. It's almost something really impossible to explain. It's such a good feeling.
Now, with that, I've got to admit, you've just come out of a winter period right now. Do you have any festivals and any concerts in mind over the summer period?
Yeah, we got some rodeos coming up. Not too many festivals this year, but we do got a few rodeos that are coming up.
Okay, because I kind of thought that this year around you'd be on the CCMA list and getting yourself on those festivals as well.
I'm actually I'm doing a show actually for the CCMAs. It's called Diamonds in the Rough. So that's another was another one of the check marks off the bucket list. So that's really, really cool for me.
I kind of understand, I really, really do. Now, I was talking to Rod Hansen about you just a few days ago, and believe me, he's a big fan of yours as well and loves to be able to promote you. And Pinky as well. Now, I want to give a shout out to both of those people for introducing us to you, and I humbly thank them for that. Got to say, Pinky, you're doing a wonderful job, you really are. Now, I want to ask you about Blue Jeans. Tell me about Blue Jeans. How did you come to the lyrics of that? And why is it you only want to see her in blue jeans? Nothing else?
Again, that song was one that I got from Gord Bamford, and like I said earlier, it's just I picked these songs because I thought it's just something a lot of people could relate to. You know, it's just about a girl that just absolutely looks good in anything she wears.
I got to disagree. I think girls look good in nothing. But that's just me. I'm a dirty old man anyway. So let's play Blue Jeans.
I'm gonna have to. I'd like to agree on that with you, Grant.
Oh, look, we're like-minded already. Let's play Blue Jeans. You're right here, Galaxy 107 FM.
Can you fix the side?
I will do that.
Thank
I will.
you.
Yeah, sorry about that. I've been
No.
sort of preoccupied. There we go. How's that?
Uh-huh.
Better for you?
Yeah.
Cool. Now, Brad, I'm going to ask you about websites and stuff like that. How our fans can get hold of you, and do you answer Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that? If a fan contacts you, will you respond? Because believe me, we get so many requests of how do we get your music? How do we download it? Do you have merchandise? Do you have a merchandise shop? So I'm going to go down that road with you.
Okay.
Cool. And at the same time, I'm just going to load up one extra song because I think it's damn well worth it, to be quite honest. I absolutely love this track. I'm just going to go and find it. I've got it in mind. Yeah, where are we?
Which one is that?
It is Shooting Stars.
That's the one we're releasing next.
Right, yeah, because I knew you were releasing one. We just weren't quite certain which one it was. So is it okay to be able to do that?
You want to do that one next?
Yeah, is that all right with you?
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, absolutely. Play it.
Awesome, because I'd like to get the skinny behind it. I absolutely love the track, I really do. So I'd like to get some information on it as well. So we'll do the website thing, and then we'll run into that one. How's that sound?
Okay. Awesome.
Awesome. We're going back right to the desk.
All she's gonna wear for me is her blue jeans, leather hair pulled back, old t-shirt and a baseball cap. She looks like heaven when she looks like that. All she's gotta wear for me is her blue jeans. All she's gotta wear for me is her blue jeans.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, joined by future icon of country music out of Alberta, Canada. And believe me, I'm very, very humbled to be talking to Brad Sims this morning. No, it was this afternoon now, actually, a little late in the day. But Brad, I thank you so much for taking the time out to be able to talk to us. Now, I want to run down the road of your websites and stuff like that. How do fans get hold of you? Do you have a Twitter account? Do you have a Facebook account? And do you have a merchandise line as well that people can buy products from? Also, your music as well. We want to be able to download your music. And don't forget, folks, don't get it for nothing. Pay for it, all right? Pay for this young man's hard work. Believe me, it's absolutely worthwhile. Now, how do we get in touch with you, Brad?
And it's only 99 cents, Grant.
There you go. There you go.
No, we're all over social media. You can purchase stuff off my website, which is www.bradsim.ca. You can shop on there. I'm all over Facebook. Facebook is Brad Sims. I'm on Instagram. It's brad.sims, and also on Twitter too. And if people leave messages, we try to get back to as many people as we can all the time.
You know, it is always nice to have a response as a fan from somebody that we're trying to get hold of, and it's always exciting to be able to form a relationship as far as a fan and getting to know the music and promoting the music as well. And that's what we're about here at Galaxy 107 FM, is being able to promote only the good music. And believe me, my brother, thank you for joining us and coming on to our interviews. That now makes you a member of the Galaxy family, and I want to welcome you into that. Also, I want to talk to you about, I'm not sure whether you would know about this yet, but we're also associated with a magazine coming out of Pittsburgh called Crank It Up Magazine. And we want to be able to get you in there as well. So I'm sure Barbara will send you all the relevant information that you will need to be able to get you in that. And just recently, 1.5 million people have actually hooked into it and started downloading it and reading it and subscribing to the magazine. So it's becoming quite a high profile for people to be in there. And we want to be able to add you in there. How do you feel about that?
That is, I can't say thank you much. That is unreal. That's very, very cool. And I'm very honored to be on the show here today, too. I know we had a little complications in the start of getting onto Skype, but I'm happy to be on here. And again, thank you so much for everything.
Look, it is our pleasure to have you, my friend. It really, really is. And since we started playing your music, and we've added you into a number of shows that we have here at Galaxy 107 FM, we've been getting requests. It's becoming ridiculous, to be very honest with you, about you and about your music and everything like that. So we had to just literally put this together. Technology being what it is, it's always fun to be able to work with. I can understand the frustrations from time to time. Now, I really want to talk to you about this particular track, Shooting Stars. Now, I know it's going to be a premiere here right now. We're going to premiere it to the rest of the Galaxy listeners. Tell me about it. I'm fascinated.
Well, this song actually means a lot to me now. Actually, when I first got it, this song was pitched to me from George Canyon, and when I first got it, I wasn't too sure if I wanted it or not, because it was pitched to me a lot slower than what it is now, and I wasn't feeling it at the time. So it took me a good week or so to tell myself that I was going to record it, and then I got in the studio and we did some different things with it, and it just turned out really, really, really cool for me, and I absolutely love it now. So it's really fun to play live, and the lyrics, again, is just, I think a lot of people can relate to this song, and it's a good song. It's one of my favorites, I think.
You know, I can respect that, because you really have to make any artwork your own, really, don't you? It's okay to have somebody write lyrics for you and also compose the music, but at the end of the day, you're the performer doing it. You've got to make it yourself, and I think you've done an absolutely superb job there of doing that. Now, where did you get it recorded?
It's been about, I can't remember exactly, Grant. It's been about probably a year and a half ago I recorded it. I recorded it down in Calgary, Calgary, Alberta.
Yeah, I've actually been there.
MCC Studios.
Oh, right. Okay. So I've heard the name before. I can't say that I've visited there, but I have been to Canada myself, my friend. I was there for the Winter Olympics. I've been to Alberta and Ottawa and a number of other cities in Canada. So I can relate to where you're coming from right now. So let's play Brad Sims and Shooting Stars right here at Galaxy 107 FM. And in fact, I think this is a premiere. You're right here at Galaxy. Whew. There we go. There we go.
Hey, Grant.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're a little bit fuzzy there, buddy.
Yeah, it's my face.
You're a little bit fuzzy.
Yeah, it's my face.
No, the screen's blurry. Bad connection?
It's good with us. You're
it's
nice
perfect.
Nice and clear, crystal clear. Love the glasses. Love the hat. Maybe you'll see me one of those hats one day.
Nick, can you come forward a little bit?
Can I come forward a little bit? How's that?
Yeah, I'm just gonna take a screenshot of us. I'm taking a picture of us.
Okay. Jesus, I better have my pants on.
There we go.
Too cool, too cool. Barbara's recording this as we speak, so that'll go up on YouTube. And as you know about YouTube, it's there forever and a day. The dinosaurs will come back and watch it one day. So we're also going to add this into Crank It Up magazine as well. There's a thing there called Web TV. And it's in a section called Indie Garage. So we're cranking that up very, very shortly. It's still got on it coming soon, like Christmas is. We are working on it.
Cool.
And I'm going to ask you next about touring. Would you be interested in touring here down under in New Zealand? Because we would love to have you with some other people. I'm not sure whether you know of the people like Rod Black, for instance, or Jimmy Sarr, even Ben Click. So some of the people from Canada are coming here to do tours over the next amount of months. And we'd like to be able to talk to you about maybe possibly adding you into that tour date.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Are you there?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, we're still here.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, you're freezing on me.
Am I? That's maybe because I don't maybe I don't have a beer in my hand.
Yeah, but it's good at our end.
Yeah. It's all good at our end, believe me.
Grant,
Yes, sir.
I would love to come down that way and tour. I would absolutely love that.
Okay, buddy. Well, I tell you what, we're going to go back to the desk right now and we'll talk about that. That's right, you're right here in Galaxy 107 FM and joined by future icon of the country music out of Alberta. Yes, Brad Sims himself is here talking to us. Love the horns up, absolutely brilliant. And I want to talk to you, Brad, about She'd Look Good on Me. When we first started this segment of the show, that was the very first song that we played. Could you tell me a little bit about it? Because I have a feeling that was your very, very first song ever that you produced.
Yeah, that song's actually kind of comical. It started out as a joke. Me and a good friend of mine were sitting at a bar here in Grand Prairie, and we had this beautiful waitress serving us at the time, and she was bringing us drinks, and she actually brought us some shots on the house. And after she walked away, we were about to take our shots together, me and my buddy, and before we took the shot, I said, "She'd look good on me," as my buddy was putting the shot in his mouth, and he almost spit it out on me. And he said, "That's a song right there." And so we carried on with our night and kind of laughed about it. The next day, I remembered what I said to him, and I started jotting some notes down on some paper, and then kind of started writing it by myself. And I got stumped on it for the longest time. That song actually took probably, it took a year or so to become what it is now. And I was just really stumped for the longest time. And I got a hold of my good friend, Matty McKay, which is Brett Kissel's guitar player. And I went up to his house and we finished writing it together, and it turned out really, really cool. So that's the story on She Looked Good on Me.
You know, we get a lot of requests for that song here, especially on a Sunday. We have the country music playing from 8 o'clock in the morning all the way through until midnight. And when I come in on a Monday morning, one of the first things that I do is I got to go through the emails and the requests, and you can guarantee I'm getting about 20, 30, 40 requests for Brad Sims, and should look good on me as a high flyer in those requests. I got to admit that.
That's awesome.
Now,
That's really, really cool.
I really want to talk to you about touring here in Australasia, down under. Now, we have nothing to do with Australia, even though they're just over the ditch. They're our cousins. We have a love-hate kind of relationship with them, much like you Canadians have with Americans. I can understand it, to be quite honest. Even the America's Cup that we here in New Zealand won off the Americans just a few days ago, the Australians seem to think that they claimed it. Not a chance, you know what I mean? So, but I gather you Canadians have a thing with the Americans going because of ice hockey. I think you got the best ice hockey players in the world, to be quite honest with you. Especially people like the Canucks, for instance. You know, one of the better Canadian teams that you've got. So I can understand how Americans feel a little disjointed there and don't quite come up to par. Now, your national hero with the ice hockey would have to be Wayne Gretzky. Am I wrong?
Wayne Gretzky all the way.
There you go. That's the man. I heard he's getting into alcohol now. He's making wine. That's rather a left field trade for him now.
He's making wine.
He's making wine. Now, he's also hanging out with Tiger Woods. Now, is Tiger teaching him how to play golf, or is he teaching Tiger how to drive drunk?
I'm going to go with B.
There you go. You see, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and he was talking about Tiger, and I said, you know, the thing about Tiger getting drunk and driving these days, you know, Lions, and we have the Lions here in New Zealand right now playing our national team, the All Blacks, in rugby union. Lions wouldn't drive drunk, but Tiger Woods. Anyway, I want to talk to you, Brad, about coming here into New Zealand and performing in front of our audiences here in New Zealand. I think they would just absolutely eat you up. Have you got any plans of touring around the world, and would you consider literally coming to Australasia?
Grant, that would be something else for me. I would absolutely love to be in New Zealand performing there. That would be something else for me. It'd probably be one of the biggest highlights in my career to be out that way. So I would absolutely love that.
You know,
also in the near future, that happens really soon.
We would love to have you here, and in fact, we would love to be able to show you around some of our humble countryside ourselves. Take you down to Marlborough Sounds, for instance, where it's like time forgot it. You just expect the dinosaurs to keep wandering on through the bush. But you look out over the Sounds, and the only modern thing you'll ever see there is probably a P&O cruise going through. But it's absolutely superb down here. Also, maybe introduce you to things like the wild foods festivals that we have here in New Zealand. Have you ever heard, for instance, of a hoo-hoo grub?
What?
A hoo-hoo grub.
I can't say I have.
Right, okay, let me describe it for you. It's like a super 2-inch sized caterpillar. It's white with a black head. Now you put the body in. You put the body in your mouth.
How do you even say that again?
Hoo-hoo, H-U-H-U. Now you put the body in your mouth and you bite off the head, you throw away the head. It's not very nice. And it tastes pretty much like, I don't know, a creamy peanut butter.
Well, each their own, I guess.
Then we could take you down the bottom of the South Island and maybe even throw you off a bridge.
As long as I'm tied up.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a thing here called bungee jumping. We're quite proud of it, to be quite honest. And it's always fun meeting new people and escorting them off a large bridge.
I actually did some bungee jumping, and then I that wasn't good enough for me, so I decided to go skydiving. And to be honest with you, bungee jumping's a lot scarier than skydiving, as weird as that sounds. But yeah, the bungee jumping is way scarier than skydiving.
Absolutely, it really is. But AJ Hackett, the guy that transformed New Zealand into bungee freaks here in New Zealand, believe me, he's a good friend of ours, and we love to catch up with him from time to time and just walk off a bridge together. But I understand what it's like about skydiving as well. Now, I've had friends, our local skydiving club in Rotorua, just not so far away from us. I had friends that was instructors there, and I've gone out and had a couple of jumps with them. I fully agree. I would rather go skydiving than bungee jumping any day, to be quite honest. Somebody...
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I don't know. It must be. I think that I had a thought in my head that the bungee was going to break.
Yeah, did somebody attach it right to the bridge? And
So then you bounce back up, and then you're falling again. It's scary like 4 times.
Exactly. Human yo-yo, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, now I want to talk to you too about your recording sessions over the winter time, especially your new album. Now, can you give me the name of your new album? Now, I've got it written down here somewhere. Maybe tonight. Have I got it right?
That's right, yeah.
Now, how long did it take you to put all of the tracks together, to record them, and who produced it for you?
It took about 2 months, 3 months, about that, to put it all together. And so we did a lot of work with MCC Studios down in Calgary, and they were really good with us and helped us out a lot. So
absolutely brilliant, and it's always nice to be able to give the recording studio a bit of a plug as well, because they'll always have you back now, won't they?
Yeah, that's right. Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah, as long as we don't say anything bad. I want to talk to you especially about this song because, believe me, this is the most requested Brad Sims song that we've got, and it is just ridiculous how many people ask for this. Beer drinking. Now, how did you come to the lyrics, and why beer drinking? Is it something you like to do? And if it is, and you're coming to New Zealand, maybe we're going to get arrested within the first 24 hours.
Cheers!
It's a cause!
No, actually, me and my good buddy started that song, and actually he's my business partner now, and we were just looking for a fun summer song and something that could grab people and have fun with the song, you know. And so that song came about, I guess, while we were drinking.
And I tell you what, it's always nice to have a few beers and writing songs. I got some friends of mine at the moment that are touring the UK. The last thing we wanted this guy to do is actually get anywhere near a barbecue, and what do you know, he's written his hand off. So beer drinking, good. Barbecues, not so much. Anyway, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Here's Beer Drinking with Brad Sims. Love this.
Oh, I can see you better now, Grant.
I feel sorry for you.
Can you come forward a little more
A
again?
little more? Yeah.
Let's do this kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
There he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that guy. Sorry, man.
Does it say screenshot on your end?
You lead you on.
Yeah, he will. He's going to get me in trouble. That's not right. It's supposed to be the other way round.
But you're always, getting into trouble.
Oh my gosh, he's going to have to come over and stay at my place.
Yeah.
Now, Brad, I'm going to ask you a couple of things. Would you be interested in sending us some of your music, maybe some merchandise that you've got, so that we can do a competition and keep the Brad Sims brand going here at Galaxy? We would love to be able to do that for you.
I would love that. I would do that, definitely.
I'll get Barbara to send you all the details. She'll probably send it over the next couple of days, and we'll add that in. At the same time, would you be interested in doing some, I think you guys call it liners, we call them stingers over here, you know, hi, this is Brad Sims on the Galaxy Breakfast Show, or something like that, that we can keep your name and everything rotating that way as well.
Or Brad Sims on the country.
Yes,
Or he could
absolutely. I would
introduce
love
the
to. I'd love
Galaxy
to do
Art
that.
Show.
I've been doing
How
that
about that?
this way a bunch lately, so I would be 100% into that.
Nice, because we would love to add you into things like the Galaxy Artist Show on a Monday night, the Sunday Country Rock, stuff like that, where we can get you segmented off into the appropriate
He
sections.
could introduce the country.
He could introduce the country show.
No, the Galaxy Artist Show.
He could do that too, yeah,
Ben
absolutely.
does the,
I'll get Barbara to send you a few ideas.
Okay, that's great.
So we'll talk about that, and then we're going to have to wrap it up. Unfortunately, we've got to get going very shortly. We've got about 40 seconds to go, so we'll go back to the desk and have another talk.
Okay.
My feet in, party hard till I die. Beer drinking, stomping my feet in, living on the edge of the line. I'll be beer drinking, stomping my feet in, party till I hit the floor. Beer drinking, stomping my feet in, always come back for more. Beer drinking, stomping my feet in, always come back for more.
That's the sound of Brad Sims. Yeah, they're drinking. You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and he's doing it. He really is. Coors Light, though. Yeah, I don't know whether that classes quite as a beer. I think it's the beer you're having when you're not having one, Brad. Now, I want to ask you very, very humbly, would you be interested in sending us some of your product, you know, some CDs, some T-shirts, maybe even a hat or two, if you got any of that sort of merchandise, so that we can continue and run a competition, keep your name and your brand going, because we love your music so much.
I would absolutely love that, Grant. You just tell me what you guys need and how much of it you need, and I would love to send that off to you guys.
Awesome, my friend, because believe me, we get such a request for all sorts of things here at Galaxy 107 FM that we would love to be able to pass on to our listeners. Now, I'm just going to very, very quickly have a look and see how many people are online. Well, what do you know? 5,757,000 people right now are listening to our interview, and I got to humbly thank you so much for taking the time out today.
Well, hello to everyone.
Yeah, no pressure. I decided to not tell you at the start how many people were listening. It kind of sometimes makes people's mouth dry up. Unfortunately, it's an average day for us. A bit slow, I got to admit. It should be up around about 7 or 8 million by now. So maybe the Americans are having a bit of a sleep and getting ready for the 4th of July.
Yeah, probably.
Apparently they need a week to work into it and another week to get out of it.
Yeah, I'm still recovering.
Well, the 4th of July is actually tomorrow for you guys. For us, it's the 4th of July today.
Oh, are you there, Grant?
Yeah, mate, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. You're freezing off me.
Am I? Okay. Well, I tell you what, my friend, it is time for us to wrap this up today, and I would love you to be able to keep in contact with us, keep coming back to us, because we want to follow you through your career, and we want to be able to ask you very, very pleasantly, whenever you come out with new music, how would you like to send it to us, and give us a little soundbite as well, introducing the song, stuff like that, and we'd love to be able to talk to you about it also. Maybe we can sort the Skype thing out between each other, so we make it a hell of a lot more better than what it is right now, and I really got to thank you for going to the efforts of what you have today to be able to talk to us. Thank you so much, Brad.
Thank you so much, Grant. Thank you so much for having me on.
It has been an absolute pleasure, my friend.
Maybe I can make a trip there.
Yeah, believe me, we would love you to come down here. And just signing off, little note, getting you into the magazine. I know John Rain, the man who actually owns and manages the magazine. he wants to do tours here as well. So, but only with the bands that make it into his magazine. So now that you're in there, you never know. There might be a little something there to be able to put you together with people like Ben Click, for instance, and Chris Buck, Rod Black, and even Todd Richard. We're looking at getting these people down here over the next X amount of months. So we would love to be able to add you to that.
That would be just awesome.
Brilliant. And of course, we will need to know all your needs and wants, your backlines, everything like that, so that we can make everything work for you. But right now, unfortunately, I have another DJ that's standing at the door looking at me going, it's my turn. I better go, my friend. So thank you so much. And please pass on loves and respects to both Pinky and also to Rod Hansen, because without them, we never would have met you. And we're so happy about that.
Absolutely, I will. And same to the radio station and everyone who's online. God bless you all.
Yeah, you bet. And believe me, you're going to be hounded now. Everybody's going to be hitting your lines before you know it. 99 cents, you say? Well, 5 million. You're going to be rich really shortly.
Oh, God. Can't wait.
Okay, matey. Stay on the line. I'll talk to you off air, and I'll just switch over to the other desk. Have a very, very good day.
Coward 107. Galaxy FM. 107.
Right. Okay. Hey, thank you.